Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to present Mr. Joel Naga, and he is a very well-known anti-corruption crusader here in Nagaland. And he is one of the founding members of the new political party, which has been just launched very recently. And I really want to thank him for agreeing and accepting my invitation to join in this talk for my channel. And my first question is, why is there a need to form a new political party when the country is infested with thousands of political parties at the national level? And what are the primary objectives of your new political party?
Thank you, Lunglen. To go straight to the point, experiences in the last 5, 6 years, 10 years has taught us that shouting from outside system hasn't had the desired impact. We talk about corruption, we talk about misgovernance, we talk about misappropriation, we talk about law and order, we talk about scholarship problem, we talk about salaries not being paid. You know, these are some of the problems unique to Nagaland. Yes, I admit that there are many political parties in Nagaland, be it regional or national. I'm sure that all the political parties have the best of intention for the Naga people, no doubt about that. But the fact of the matter remains that our experiences during the ACAUT movement and as we see as of now, we have realized that in order to change the system, we have to be in the system. Shouting from outside, you know, raising issues in public domain, nothing has had this being outside the system hasn't been really productive in the sense that the government of the day hasn't taken notice of the things that common people are suffering thereof. And we felt that this is a time for us to be coming together with like-minded persons. And when we talk about like-minded persons, we talk about people from diverse backgrounds. We talk about people with MBA backgrounds. We talk about people from business backgrounds. We talk about people from NGO backgrounds, from activist backgrounds. So the RPP is a party where people from diverse professions have come together to give a voice to the Naga people. We want to give hope to the Naga people, basically.
Yep.
And we want to tackle, there are some core issues which we want to take up. And so, as you have correctly put it, yes, we are not one of the political parties, but we are, you know, we represent a situation where we really need to give hope to the Naga people. And so here we are.
So nice to hear about the intentions and the need to really enter into the system and try bringing a change. I think it's also one of the crucial things that any activist can think of. But if I have to refer, like you said, you need to get into the system to bring a change in the system. If we recall your colleague, Mr. Keke Sema, I have had an opportunity to even talk to him. And he says that to bring a change into the system, you really need to get into the system sometimes. However, his approach seems to be a little different from your approach. His approach is getting into the old system, but your approach is completely forming a new political party, which will bring change in the system itself. So why did you think forming a new political party, forming a new platform is going to be much more profitable, at the same time productive, I would say, than joining getting into the system which is already in existence, like all political parties?
Well, see, the system is deep-rooted. The system is complex.
Mm-hmm.
One man alone cannot change the system.
Definitely.
Yes, one man alone cannot change the system. So, having learned from KK Sema's experience, we felt that there should be a new entity, a new political party. Because tomorrow, if I join, whether it's KK Sema or whether it's you or whether anybody,
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, if I join the system, and tomorrow, even if I win elections, the system itself will overwhelm me. Because again, at the end of the day, I'm just an individual.
Right.
And my vision and my aims and objectives will count for nothing. So the best way to tackle the system is, we felt at this juncture, to create a new political party
Mm-hmm.
with new vision, with new hope, and enter a system, in a sense, contest the elections in 2023,
Okay.
and try to make an impact. So whether we win or we lose doesn't count for, whether we win or lose is immaterial, is irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we lose, we'll be sowing a seed, and that seed will bear fruit, I'm sure,
Definitely.
in the years to come.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, win, nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Because by winning, we can, we are in the system where we are in a position to bring changes.
That's interesting. I think the most important part here is, I would totally agree with you. Whether winning or losing is not a concern as of now. But providing an alternative for the voters, providing an alternative for the people of Nagaland is, I think, very, very relevant at this time. And I think your party reminds me of the Aam Aadmi Party, which was formed, by under the leadership of Mr. Kejriwal, and he was just like you, an anti-corruption crusader there in Nagaland and there in New Delhi. And I think people repose their faith in a person like him in a party like Aam Aadmi Party, with a totally new faces in the party, a new vision, a new hope for the people of Delhi. So do you think your party resembles to the characteristics and to the way the AAB works during its inception there in New Delhi?
I think we share the same ideology.
Mm-hmm.
They stood for anti-corruption. We're also standing for anti-corruption.
Right.
We are standing for good governance. We are standing for empowerment of women. We are standing for rule of law. We are standing for self-reliant economy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our philosophy and our ideals gels. And but however, unlike AAP, Nagaland is a unique place,
Yeah.
with a unique system. And there in Delhi, the voters are matured. In Nagaland, we have so many issues. We have so many different views.
Right.
Our politics is totally different.
Right.
So if we can emulate up and win all the seats, 68 out of 70, nothing like that. But here in Nagaland, I think we have to keep our fingers crossed.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And as you see, you mentioned some of the core issues that the Nagaland state is facing, like the empowerment of women. I think we'll see a very, very negligible or even zero representation of women in our legislative assembly. And when it comes to rule of law, it's totally almost on the verge of collapse. So why do you think issues like youth unemployment, all these modern issues are totally infested and crippling the Nagaland state? Why do you think these issues are really, really going beyond control in our state?
See, the question is, which came first, the chicken or the eggs? Now, the politicians are blaming the voters are blaming the politicians.
Right.
So it's a cycle. So what do we do now? Now, here, I think instead of blaming the voters, I think the politicians take a stand, and they need to be responsible. Because at the end of the day, they are the leaders, they're the ones running the state, and they have a responsibility to be transparent and accountable. Now, if they can take a stand and say, we are against, yes, we have spent crores and crores of rupees during elections.
Yep.
But if they can take a stand and say, even though we have spent crores and crores of rupees, we will not recover the money we have spent from the public exchequer. If they can take that kind of stand, I'm sure Nagaland will see better days. But here, as I've put it in, during a press conference, we have a culture of kushi-kushi. Nobody is accountable to anybody. The government is not accountable to the people not accountable to the government. And therefore, the system itself is on the verge of collapse.
Right.
So how do we, here the moot point is, how do we give a responsible government? And to give a responsible government, we felt that the leaders of the RPP itself should be transparent and accountable. And therefore, during the press conference, we declared our assets to the media people. We have already declared our assets.
Wonderful.
So the politicians and the politicians, they can start, or not only the politicians, but even the leaders of the political parties, they can start off by declaring the assets.
Right.
Telling the Naga people, we have nothing to hide. We are transparent. We are accountable.
Right.
And once this is done, the trickle-down effect will happen, and we can see major changes in governance.
I think as a leader, being responsible is a great character or attributes that the voters and the people really, really expect. And I think going by the vision and the hope that you are trying to give doesn't come without a risk and without a challenge. So now the question remains, who will be your candidates? Are they going to be as responsible or as transparent as you strive to be?
See, Lunglen.
Yeah.
It is going to be very difficult.
Right.
Looking for good candidates.
Right.
People who are God-fearing, people who are godly, people who can stand for the truth. Normally, these are the kind of people who don't want to get involved in politics.
Correct. Exactly.
Even as we speak, people are laughing at us in the sense, we have already declared in the media during a press conference that we will not be using money power. We will not be using parcel power. When we talk about elections, we are talking about thousands of crores of rupees. In the year 2008, after the assembly elections, UNED undertook a survey.
Right.
And they found out that more than 900 CR had been spent during the elections.
900.
For a party like RPP. For a party like RPP, we don't even have we don't have anything in our bank account. If you check our bank account right now, you'll find around 50,000 rupees. That's it, contributed by members.
Right.
So people have every right to be skeptical.
Yeah.
They have every right to call us fools, but nevertheless, we believe in sowing a seed, and this seed will be sown at the appropriate time. Definitely, we'll set up candidates in 2023.
Okay.
If possible, we'll set up candidates in all the assembly constituencies. Okay. If possible, we'll set up candidates in all the constituencies. Yes.
Okay, so that's now getting very interesting. So on what criteria or on what parameter are you, or you might start vetting those candidates to be eligible candidates from the RPP party? On what criteria you might vet them?
First of all, our candidates will be new. They will be new candidates.
Okay.
Yeah, they will be fresh. Yeah, they will be fresh faces. We'll not bring in the old timers.
I see. Okay.
especially the established politicians.
Right.
And I say this with all respect to to my seniors, to my seniors and to the old timers. I say it with all respect. But if we bring in the old candidates, we would be just like another political party, all wine in a new bottle.
All wine in new bottle.
And we have defined ourselves as new wine in a new bottle.
Okay.
So when we bring in all candidates, then our USP stops.
I see. So all the candidates or all the workers are going to be just new faces and presumably a fresher in politics, like who has no political experience in the past.
Yes, basically, yes.
Okay, so they might end up, the candidates might comprise of a chunk of like people who belong to a theological professions, who belong to maybe in people who have worked for NGOs, not who have really worked as a politicians or who have never involved in the political processes, I would say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you talk about theologians, my senior Guzo Mero comes to mind, who contested from Western Angami constituency.
I see. Okay.
And I believe he gave a tough fight, but he fought without money power, and he was alone. Yes, like my senior KK Sema, Guzo was also all alone.
Right.
And therefore, he failed. He failed in the sense, he failed to get elected into the assembly.
Yeah.
But he sent a strong message to the rest of the Naga people, that there's hope, in Nagaland. And yes, our candidates will be from diverse sections of society.
Totally agreed. I think your message and the objective of your party is still alien, still like total ideas of alien to the Nagaland. This kind of ideas and messages, we are still new to this, and I think if we push harder and if we can turn this into a new normal, I think Nagaland will definitely see a change, as I suspect. And now coming to your empowerment of women, do you think you will have a good representative in your party? Of women,
we believe Yes, we believe in equality.
Yeah.
See, we believe in equality, and we have a good number of women representatives in the party. And we also believe that we should not give lip service to women.
Right.
Whereas other parties have, Mahila wing and women wing, we don't have a separate women wing in the RPP. The women, the few women we have in the party, they belong to the main body. And this is where we begin the process of women empowerment. So, because we don't believe in giving lip service.
Okay.
And I would also like to appeal to the Naga people. I think it's time that we elect women into the Legislative Assembly.
Exactly.
And we take this mission very seriously. It's a mission for us, in fact. To elect women into the Assembly is a mission for us.
True.
More than anything else, we want Naga women to be elected into the Assembly through RPP ticket. Because this is something which we will strive for. And I pray and hope that the Naga people will get a message.
Truly, truly. Do you believe in the 33% of reservation for women in the Assembly?
See, there are two schools of thoughts.
Yeah.
When it comes to women, some of the women are in favor of 33%, but the other half of the women, they don't believe in reservation. Because, as I've stated, they feel that they are not inferior to men in any manner. So reservation, even amongst women, is a very contentious issue. Now, Tomorrow, but however, having said that, we believe that women should be in the assembly, women should be in the decision-making processes, women should be in top echelons of the governance. And having said those things, we also believe in constitutional processes. Tomorrow, if the government of India or the parliament enacts a law, and if the state government has to implement it, there's nothing much we can do about it, because it becomes a constitutional issue. However, as far as women reservation is concerned, we would like to have, the RPP would like to initiate, or would like to initiate discussion, dialogue with all the stakeholders, because mindset has to change. Even for a menfolk, mindset has to change. So this is something which are seriously pondering.
Right. Okay, that's a great opinion. And when it comes to the Naga issue, do you have any planned Naga political issue? Do you have any plan to work differently in order to expedite a faster, resolution of the Naga political issue as a party, or you might just pursue the same strategies adopted by the current political parties?
Right now, we don't have any plans as such, because see, the issue is between the two negotiating parties and the government of India.
Right.
Even the state government doesn't have a role here. The political parties do not have a role here. So under the circumstances, it would be out of place for us to be speaking on these things. And, make things uncomfortable for all the stakeholders. But as a Naga, we truly believe that there should be a solution at the earliest.
Okay.
And we also believe that, all the negotiating parties should come together and settle the Naga issue once and for all.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a new political party, now what is the immediate steps that your party is planning to take up?
There are so many things that needs to be taken up.
Right.
We need to build up the party at a grassroots level. We need to be, we need to be reaching out to the people at a grassroots level. We need to reach out to the intellectuals. We need to reach out to civil society organizations. We need to reach out to the young people. We need to reach out to the women.
True.
We need to take up issues of governance.
True.
Where the government has faltered on governance related issues. We need to be taking up these issues. So there are so many issues at hand. So we'll go step by step, and at the appropriate time, we'll bring out a manifesto.
Definitely. Okay. And one more last question. So you being a leader of the party, I would say, and I would say when Nagaland is a place where people see it as a very homogeneous society, but in fact, tribally, in fact, when it comes to tribes, it's thought very heterogeneous because every tribe is distinct in their own way. Plus, the strong mindset of tribalism always exists. And once D.R. Zileng said that he is or he has been a victim of the majoritarian politics in the year 2017, when the seat of the chief minister was contested between him and the other opposition, he said that he is a victim of majoritarian politics. So you also maybe comparatively from, how to say, a smaller tribe, don't you think it's going to be somewhat a challenge for you as well to lead such an ambitious political party?
I don't think so. Personally speaking, I see myself as a Naga first.
Right.
The whole of my adult life, I had a surname. So that surname defined me. That surname defined my village, defined my background, defined my tribe. In due course of time, I've realized that the greatest threat to Naga society is nothing else but tribalism.
True, true.
And keeping that perspective in mind, I made a conscious decision to change my surname.
Mm-hmm.
And today I want to be identified as a Naga.
Right.
Yes, my background, my tribal identity is there. I'm a Rengma. However, as I've said, I want to be identified as a Naga. I want to be identified as a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe that my background or my identity is a hindrance, because at the end of the day, the idea is all about ability and aptitude.
Absolutely.
Now, if you are talented, if you have the ability and the aptitude, please join the Rising People's Party.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a tribal mentality, if you have the mentality of tribalism, please don't join the RPP.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, our progress will be defined by what we are and what our abilities are,
Mm-hmm.
not by who we are.
Right.
The RPP is sort of a counterculture movement.